chase you until it catches you. It chases until it catches you, and then throw you up, come down, and step on you.
Farmers who are victims of crop raiding elephants take a double hit, losing not just the harvest for that season, but also seed for the next. Kilele's saying this happened just in one night. 30 elephants came and just decimated the entire crop in one night. The farmer wasn't left with one bag. Is there a temptation on part of the farmers to punish the elephants?
Yeah, we've been thinking about that as a community. Unless maybe somebody or somewhere comes up with something which can help us protect our crops and ourselves from these elephants, then we'll impose that decision, which can be disastrous to animals. To be sincere.
I'm here in the car with Lucy King. She's a project manager at Save the Elephants. Lucy.
Hi.
Hi. So we're out looking for some elephants now. What's the chances we're actually going to see some this afternoon?
Well, there's a good chance. There are about 12,000 elephants in the Tsavo ecosystem. So we've got some fresh elephant dung here, and also some elephant footprints up on the left. Can you see them? You can see they're still fresh because the footprints still have the footprint marks, if you like. The ridges are still visible.
You can see where he's just walked across the road there.
As an elephant tries to enter the farm, he will automatically avoid the beehive. And as he tries to push through, he'll hit this wire. And as he touches it, you can see it causes the beehives to swing on either side. If there are bees in the hives, they'll be released. And they fly out and sting the elephant.
And tell us about the nature of the bees.
The bees in this part of the world seem to arrive with the rains. They'll send out scouts, they'll go, wow, this is a fantastic place to live. And then they'll bring the rest of the swarm. In the dry season, the whole beehive fence could be empty. But as the crops start to grow, it attracts the bees, but it attracts the elephants. So you get high occupation of hives at the same time as the elephants try and crop raid. So the system seems to be working. How are you?
Hello.
This is Russell.
Hi.
Good. Hi. This is Tabitha. So this is her shamba.
Okay.
Elephants not come in the farm, and then when they see this, they go out.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you see elephants here?
Yeah, they reach here, and then they go away.
Really?
Because the beehive.
Oh my goodness, that looks good. With no elephants raiding her crops, Tabitha has enjoyed a full harvest. That is really healthy looking maize, isn't it? So are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
You are?
I'm happy to find these crops.
There you have it. I mean, it's so obvious when you compare these 3 healthy sacks of grain and the seeds for next year, the difference between that and that field of destruction that we saw earlier. I mean, it couldn't be more.
Yes, it's very stark, isn't it?
Yeah.
These beehives are really keeping the elephants out, and they're providing sustainable food for their families, and hopefully some honey as well.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The scarce land resources, and this leads to human-wildlife conflicts.
Most of the animals are in the group ranches and the community land. And I want to call upon all of us as players, as stakeholders, to make sure that the community get a reason to conserve this animal.
But today, this community has a different story to tell. It has leased out 16,000 acres of land to the Amboseli National Park through the International Fund for Animal Welfare, part of which forms the Olgulului or Lolarashi group ranches, meaning that over 1,400 elephants within the Amboseli ecosystem will have more space to roam freely. The space extends from the Amboseli National Park to the Tanzania border, known as the Kitenden Corridor, that connects to the Mount Kilimanjaro National Park.
We want you to be the owners of the conservation in this region. Tunaelewa namna hiyo? Tunataka nyinyi pia muwe watajiri ya kupokea watalii, muwe na game reserve yenu ambayo ni watu wa hapa.
In the 1940s, nearly 500,000 lions roamed Africa and Asia. Today, fewer than 20,000 remain, squeezed in on all sides by growing human populations. Despite millions of dollars spent on lion conservation in recent decades, their numbers are still declining. There must be a bright idea out there somewhere. Lions are the #1 tourist attraction to Kenya, and tourism is one of the top revenue earners. Yet lion numbers have declined from 15,000 just 10 years ago to fewer than 2,000 today. Wherever humans and lions share habitats, conflict leads to lions being killed, and nowhere is this more apparent than in Nairobi. Kenya's capital is one of Africa's fastest growing cities. 4 million residents and growing at 7% per year. It's the fastest growing city in the world. Nairobi National Park occupies 16% of the city. No other capital city in the world has a park with wild rhinos, lions, and other wildlife. The park is fenced along its northern boundary, but is open to the south, linking it to a wider ecosystem and allowing wildlife to make crucial seasonal migrations. And that means sharing land with people. This poses a unique challenge for the park and the city residents. Wherever wildlife goes, lions follow. They can even survive in Nairobi's more affluent suburbs, navigating fences in built-up areas. But inevitably, they kill livestock, leading to disastrous consequences. In 2007, so many of the park's lions were killed by the community that they were almost wiped out. The pressure is so great now that we could lose them altogether. We need an affordable solution that empowers people to deal with the problem themselves. Maasai wealth is measured in cattle. From the age of 9, Richard was responsible for managing the family's most valuable assets. By age 11, he'd had enough of lion attacks.
If the lions come from the forest and then come to eat our cattle, it's very bad. If I see the lion now, I feel that something is something that is ready to attack me. Me and the lion, we are enemies, big enemies that can never be forgive each another any day.
One night, he had a bright idea.
This is the battery, it's being charged by the solar panel. It's there in the roof. And this is the wires that carry the power to the bulbs. And this is the switch where you can switch the lights on and off.
Richard's brainchild is one of the first practical solutions to the lion-human conflict problem. It's saving cattle, lions, and money.
I knew the lions were afraid of something which is moving, because when someone wakes up at night and moves with a torch, the lions are afraid of the lights because they think this is a person which is coming. Since 2009, I started putting our home the bulbs, so we didn't ever experience any problem of the lions coming at home until now. So the neighboring homes, I've even borrowed my idea. Since now I've put it 6 homes, the bulbs.
As conservationists in Africa, we really need to recognize and support local practical ideas that emerge from young people like Richard. We're proud to have helped Richard to get a scholarship to one of Kenya's top schools, Brookhouse International. All it took was one bright idea. Richard never dreamed that he could be someone that saved lions.
Meet Richard Tureri. So Richard, whoever knew you'd end up a movie star? I mean, was that true?
Yeah, it's true. It's mine.
So, where did you grow up?
I grew up at Kitengela area, at the edges of Nairobi National Park.
And at some point you started looking after cattle yourself. How old were you when that happened?
I started looking at my father's cattle when I was 9 years old.
And at night, some nights, what happened?
Yeah?
What happened some nights when you...
Well, some nights we had a very big problem of lions attacking our cattle at night, and then they eat our cattle.
And meanwhile, you had this other interest that you were developing. What was that?
Now I'm working to I want to make an electric shock that I can put to a home for security.
You hear that? Booby trap the home with an electric shock. And to do that,
yeah.
you had to learn some electronics, right? How did you do that?
I think this knowledge came from God because no one taught me. I didn't have any books.
So you just started
yeah.
causing trouble at home, taking things apart and figuring out how it worked?
Yeah.
And then you had this idea that you could put this to use to solve the lion problem. How did you do that?
I knew that the lions were afraid of something which is moving.
They like you out there.
So I saw my mind came up, and then I knew that the motorcycles have the indicators. So I got the machine for the indicator, and then I use it for keeping my lions safe and the cattle, because now I'm saving lions and cattle.
So that was the beat I didn't get from the film, because so there was a motorcycle indicator switch in there, and that's what causes the light to move from one light to the other?
It's the one which makes the lights to splash, flash all the sides.
So you're a smart kid. So you got this scholarship, and you've already started school?
Yeah. When I invented this thing, the head teacher for Brookhouse was very excited for my invention. So he gave me the scholarship to Brookhouse. It's the best school, one of the best schools in the world.
So you started like two weeks ago, and what are you going to do with all this education and knowledge? What's your dream?
I want to be, because now I'm in a good school, I want to be an aircraft engineer.
So you grew up in the fields looking after cattle, under the flight path, seeing all these planes go by. And little sparks were going off in your mind. And those sparks now mean that you can realize your dream of those helping build the airplanes of the future. How amazing is that? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, because when I was at home, I used to see the planes coming to go and land. So I just feel that one day I will be in the plane.
Richard Terrera, you are amazing. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey.